Valiant.
I'm here.
Falk.
Here.
Zirak.
I am here.
Elise.
Present.
Valeria.
Here.
Rudy.
I'm here.
Leomorn.
Here.
Was everybody able to hear one another?
Yes.
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 Then let us begin. Who would like to do the recap of what happened last time?
Zirak, why don't you tell us what happened?
Just leave out those certain details, please.
Or go into a lot of detail?
Depends on how brask you're feeling.
I could go into what happened last time, but I
You
wasn't
weren't there.
Yeah, you don't count.
Yeah, go ahead, Valeria.
Time on a brave new world. Finally reached the tower they had been searching for so many months. Atop the tower, they encountered a necromancer elf by the name of Sin. How easily the men swayed to her charm. It made Valeria ill as she watched her undead servants upon the desecrated bodies of the shadow hunters and pile them atop to set them aflame. Have been the creatures they had tormented them throughout the journey, but it was still a reminder of the hardships they had faced. Them to her expansive tent, where even more of her men were at her beck and call. She told them of the story behind the tower, the awful things that occurred inside. People captured and set to break the demons, and turned into these mutated creatures that would do the same if they had come in direct contact. She asked them to work for her, and to be paid handsomely. Brought in a large chest of treasure. Why bring a chest when you've been showing it off this whole time? Sin continued on about a portal and possible allies waiting inside if they were able to persuade them. Some shot glasses as a toast to their tentative partnership. Still the skeptic, Valeria didn't drink as Sin continued on with her lewd comments. Most interested in. After more jabs that Rudy took at Sin, Valeria wondered what would make her so hostile, aside from the given. Inside the tent and enjoyed the first decent meal in a while. While Zirak had his own fun, Valeria called out as he was dragged away by Sin for a massage, "I'm going to tell Amara on you. So much for being faithful." Tears with her pillow and willed herself to sleep. The following morning, they ate breakfast and were off. After a brief argument between Sin and Fruity, the party was off. Hello, searching for the portal with the key Zirak had acquired from Sin. The sound was muffled. Odd. They continued on, and just as Zirak had found the portal, they heard a cry. They entered one of the rooms to find the ink had come to life. Rudy. "Darn it, Rudy, I just brought you back." The battle was tough, downing Rudy 2 more times despite their efforts. Finally, Thalion dispatched of it, and it splashed onto Leo and Valeria, chipping away at their health. At last, they went through the portal, met with another undead army, and a woman. How many necromancers were there? Group a threat and led them to a man overseeing another group of people battling a demon down below. Thalion attempted to sway him to be by their side, but he said he would only do so after they killed the man that had imprisoned him there. He then turned to the others and questioned, should help the people. Valeria was cautious, wasn't helping them. These people, in turn, doing exactly what the guy wanted. At that, Zirak piped up saying that he wouldn't stand and let the innocent die. Her faith. Valeria gasped. Why does everyone think I'm losing my faith? She thought. To fight. And so the story continues.
Well done. Go ahead and give yourself a point of inspiration. She is not happy with Zirak. I'm going to move you guys back onto the map. Okay, so we drop you guys back in after coming into this dim lit, very lowly lit, actually, chandelier area that you emerged out of this sort of black portal. And there you were greeted by a weird combination of people. A white standing alongside what seems to be a group of subservient zombies sort of standing and waiting, while a pale elven woman came up and sort of looked you over and sort of mistaken you for perhaps prisoners that she was not expected to be sent, telling you to follow. You marched down alongside and stopped on the stairs and viewed this large temple-like structure that you guys have found yourself in. It is littered with columns, very Dwarradelf-like from Lord of the Rings, from front to back. The ceiling stretches up into blackness that you can't see, and the walls themselves sort of radiate this dim light throughout the area, kind of like a very soft, muted moonlight. And what glimpse you get of the tapestries that hang along depict very grotesque and gruesome scenes of sacrifice and slaughter. Each one seems to be a demon and or devilish creature, sort of like a very medieval rendition of hell, I guess you would say, that you would see in paintings in Italy and stuff like that, of demons squatting over, holding up, ripping people in two. And there in the middle, the source of all the noise and cacophony that's going on, is a large winged creature that's sort of bound by these chains. And you see a group of very desperate people trying to fight this thing off. And here you see full frontal what Sin told you about them using the slaves that they capture to break the demons within. To what ends, you guys are not sure. As you followed the White Lady closer to the strange armored man that was watching the scene unfold below him kind of dispassionately and emotionless, you watched as she said something, and he merely turned to her, and almost as quick as a snap of a finger, you watch her sort of stumble in place before she just burst into ash. Some of you saw the faint movement of the man's hand sort of push his sword back into his scabbard as he began to watch again, as if he was irked that she would speak to him at such a moment. He then looked you all up and down as you stood on the stairs and gave you a sort of nod of approach. Hesitantly, you followed Thalion, who sort of marched brusquely up. Again, Thalion's one-track mind sort of in place again as he's, "I'm looking for a girl." To which the man replied, "I break demons. Now we know something about each other." Some conversation was had, but the man was definitely more interested with what was going on inside the room than the conversation you were having. Until at last the armored female figure sort of turned desperately at all of you and said, "What are you doing? Help them!" To which Zirak began to walk forward and weave his hands, bringing magic, getting ready to alight. Zirak, with the intention to fight as you step that close in, please give me a wisdom saving throw. There was a brief moment, just the briefest of moment, where you felt compelled to jump down into the pit. And we're going to roll initiative.
Did he also recognize me recognizing him?
He saw you looking at him, and he saw that you recognized him, but he has no idea who you are. Damn it.
Mark, do you know if I typed last week in the chat what spell I was preparing to cast? I feel like I might have. Can I still view the chat entries, or are they deleted?
Nope, they're gone. But you said you were channeling fire, I believe.
I think it might have been Chromatic Orb.
Not if I was. Yeah, if I was
Like
targeting
Ray of
a
Frost
demon,
or something.
I wouldn't use fire, and I don't have Ray of Frost.
Yeah, I forget, but you did type the spell. I remember you said you were going to put it in chat so you could remember, but...
Yeah, I thought I did too.
If I remember, I think
Just
it
list
was
off
Chromatic
all your
Orb.
spells.
I think it actually was Chromatic Orb.
Do you guys know you guys know you're fighting demons? This is a demon. I can't remember.
I mean, I was targeting the demon, so I wouldn't use fire. I'm not that dumb. 20 intelligence.
No, what I'm saying is, do you know this is a demon?
Yes, we were talking about it with the guy.
Yeah, we were
I
told
clearly
that
say
this
he
was
breaks deep.
Mhm.
Okay, no, I completely forgot. So I
But before we kick off, Zirak, I'm going to give you one free round to cast the spell that you were casting before we left off.
Okay, since I don't remember precisely what spell I might have typed in chat, I'm just going to wing it. I'm very doubtful that it was Chromatic Orb because I'm very low on spell slots, and that would take me a spell slot. So I'm pretty sure I would have started with a cantrip, knowing my playstyle. Since it is a demon, I'm going to cast my druid spell, Frostbite.
That's what it was. Because we were making fun of you that you were going to cast a wreath of flowers on its head, a druid.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
That's right.
Okay.
It was Frostbite. Good job.
That tracks with what I would think I would do. So that makes sense.
Yeah, that's
Then
perfect. As soon as you said Frostbite, that memory just popped up.
So it would be a con save on the creature as ice starts to form around it.
Okay, it's pretty high on con, but it actually right now has disadvantage. It still rolls an 18.
All right, so it shakes the icicles off, and they break free.
And it elicits a sort of roar as the wings outstretch, and you watch as this creature stands to its full height, and it's almost from neck down to the pad of its strange taloned feet. It's almost 15 feet tall, and the wings themselves stretch out to almost 30 either side. It is a massive creature now that it is standing to its full height here, and it's not hunched over, trying to smack and hit at all these people within.
I'll sidestep over next to Valeria, and I'll say, "You won't let those innocent people die, will you?" And then I'll end my turn there, next to Valeria.
So at the very top of the round now, you watch as Rezimoda sort of looks over at you and sees you cast your magic, and he nods, and you hear him yell, "Lorico! Release the chains! This will be interesting."
Chains. It was
And you
chains
watch
this whole
as the chains that were binding this creature fall to the ground from its legs and its hands, and now this thing seems to be free. It's going to make an attack at the armored woman. It is then going to hit 2 of the commoners. First attack is going to be with the beak at the armored. I'm hitting her with a 20, doing 12 points of piercing damage to her as it its beak completely shoots through her shield as she brings it up, and you hear her scream as it pierces through the chest plate of her really worn down, sundered armor. And now it's going to lash out with 2 talons, or with its 1 talon. Sorry. It hit. And you watch as this sort of older farmer right next to you, Volk, just gets thrown to the side like a bullet out of a gun and just splatters against the side of the...
I'm still focusing on the demon.
Lamon, what is your intention?
Boy. Well, my head is still ringing from the last fight, so... Oh, crap.
Do you intend to spectate, or do you intend to fight?
I could try to help, but I need to get better first, so I'm going to take out one of the drops of potions that I have, which I think this one I'm going to take the one with the asterisks. I didn't like the sound of that one. I'm going to give it a quick chug, real quick. Anything I might have to do with this one?
Yes, you can roll a D100.
Oh no.
Roll a D100 and then roll your 1D4.
Alright. So... Are you serious?
You guys watch as first it feels like rain, and you look up, and immediately surrounding this entire column-like area is a large floating globule of water that is dripping before it just breaks apart and lands on everybody, soaking everyone through and filling this 15-foot deep pool with about 5 feet of water.
That's a shit ton of water.
It was a lot of water. It was the contents of the nearest lake. And there's a lake nearby that's pretty big.
Did everybody get soaked, or just the people in the?
This entire place got soaked, and a lot of the water drained into here. So now everybody is almost like waist and chest deep in water, fighting this demon that's inside this pit. Lamworm, you take your 1 point of healing as this miraculous water dump just appeared out of nowhere. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna cuss in Primordial above whatever was in the bottle. And I'm going to position myself better with moving 5, 10 past Zirak, 15. Actually, no, I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna move 5, 10. Probably gonna move right here for better positioning.
And your intention now is to fight? I need to know specifically if you intend to spectate or fight.
I can try to help.
Okay, so that means you're going to intend to fight. I need you to give me a wisdom save.
Oh no. Wait, how come it didn't go? There it goes. Wisdom.
There was a moment that you felt almost compelled to jump in and help them, but you sort of shake your mind dizzily and just kind of stand back. Is that as far as you're going to move?
Yeah, just for a better position.
Okay, this commoner is going to damage creature for 1. Zirak, it is your...
Sorry, I had a bug flying in my face.
No problem.
I had to get rid of it. I look around to the group. Is there... Do I get the sense that Thalion, do I get the sense that you are going to spectate or fight? Is there an obvious action that you're kind of moving to your weapon, or did you sneer in anger? What is your...
glaive is drawn. He looks like he's about to jump in.
Okay, then I will move up to Thalion, and I will lay a hand on his shoulder, and I will tell him to fight with glory and pride as I cast this spell on Thalion.
I was hoping you had that spell.
And then, after I have given him a magical blessing, I will again take my spot next to Valeria and wish him well in the coming battle.
Give me another wisdom save. You step back and you stand next to Valeria and you look what's going on, and there's this compulsion in your heart that's growing that you need to fight. You need to fight. You need to fight. You watch as Zirak, 5-10 feet, splashing into the water. The cold water sort of splashes over your body and over your face again, and you're like, shh. What?
What am I doing down here? Droman must have pushed me.
You look around at the confused faces of the people around you, and you
Or
just
like,
watch
why?
as the strange plated armored figure you guys were speaking to just sort of has his arms crossed, watching quite impassively and emotionless at the proceedings that's happening.
Actually, Zirak's starting to wonder if maybe Valeria pushed him, since she was pretty mad at him.
Is that the end of your turn? You still have...
I still have a little bit of movement left. Is 10 feet enough to climb up here next to Leomorn?
It is 15 feet up on that wall.
Okay. Then I will... I'm going to end my turn there.
Okay.
Kind of against the wall.
This commoner is going to damage it. Elise. Elise, do you intend to spectate, or do you intend to join the fray?
For now, yes. She's not stepping anywhere near that ring right now.
So you're gonna just stand there and take the dodge action and spectate?
Yeah, she's gonna move up to here and yeah.
Okay, so you're just going to impassively watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With her arms folded.
Valiant.
Valiant is going to jump in with amazing speed thanks to Zirak.
Your fervor of you wanting to join in and fight this creature and to help protect those people around it is almost doubled. There seems to be a passion burning inside of you that you haven't felt for quite some time as you leap in.
stab out at this creature.
A 20 hits.
And since fiends are now my favorite enemy, he takes that
Additional 4, right? 3 or 4?
4.
Okay.
And with my hasted action, I'm gonna swing again.
Okay, so that's another 11.
And with my bonus action, I'm gonna strike with the opposite end, aiming for its chest.
The 12 is batted away as one of the wings comes in. After taking punishment from 2 of your hits, the wings sort of enfold around it, and the blunt end sort of skips off as it opens up and it begins to eye. Drummond, what is your intention?
I might as well slide down there and poke it a couple times, so I intend.
You feel more confident staring at this creature for some reason, like you want to fight it as you slide down.
I'll step up next to it and poke it with my rapier.
Okay. The 12 doesn't seem to pierce. It's really thick hide. You watch as your rapier sort of bends as you bring it back and it springs back into true. And you sort of whip it around trying to find a more vital area to strike for your next.
Any action disengage.
Okay.
Go get it, Zirak.
Falk.
I am going to swing at it with 2 hands and try to club this.
Your ragged
demon-like
robes.
entity.
Your ragged robes are just dripping, soaking wet. The weakness you feel already is just starting to just fucking water. Where'd the water come from? You know, as you're getting ready to strike out with your quarterstaff. An 18 will hit. Okay, it's going to take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you strike and you hear the wood knock against its hard skin, and then you get back into a defensive position, trying not to draw too much attention. It is Garshadow's turn.
Garshadow's gonna leap forward and attempt to pounce this thing, knocking it prone.
Okay.
Mark, does the 5 feet of water hinder movement?
No. Because that was just something really fun because I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, it's
You
just
weren't expecting
it's just,
it. I wasn't
it's just there. It's
Okay.
just there. It's just a weird atmospheric thing that just happened. As Garshadow goes into pounce, again the wings close, boom, and he sort of rebounds on it like a dog running into a sliding glass door, and kind of lands to the ground and shakes his head to sort of clear it.
That'll be his turn.
Okay, Rudy.
So Rudy sees this, and it is almost like too perfectly staged, because it's an arena with a demon. She's like, I do this all the time. So she, she calls out, she's just like, foul demon, have at thee with my righteous blade.
You've been reading too many fanfics, Rudy.
You draw.
I am the fanfic.
You draw an appraising nod from Rezamoda as you yell that and jump in. A 21 definitely hits.
I will slash at its wing, and then I just keep swinging with my...
Your first attack comes in and shoof, you find the soft spot in the weird leathery feathers that seem to be dangling off of the wing, and you watch as the thin vein of membrane just gets sliced in, and it starts to gush out this black ichor as the leathery feathers sort of dance on their own.
So it takes 15 points of damage, and I now have an AC of 16. And then
Okay.
and as my blade is just flashing, I come.
Yeah, that definitely hits. The strange, guttural, deep shriek that's emanating from the long neck of this strange, condor-like creature. It's enough to make your blood curdle. It is such an unnatural sound that it's sort of resonating to the deepest, darkest parts of your brain that you try to hold and stash away like the scariest memories imaginable.
I'm already in character.
It is Illyria's turn. She is emboldened by the new allies who have joined the fight to aid her. You can see now that it's not just the wetness from the water that's stretching down, but she is crying tears. You don't know if it's because she's happy or she's sad at the life that's already been lost. She's going to make 2 attacks at this creature with her long sword.
Mark, is this the first time we fought a winged demon?
This is the first time you fought something this big. Usually you've been fighting smaller ones. This is a step up for you. And
Right, but is this the first one that has wings?
yes. She hits both times, doing a total of 8 points of slashing damage. Her cuts are digging in and breaking the skin, but they almost look like paper cuts, leaving small, thin lines of ichor as her sword is just unable to fully pierce the hide of this creature. Valeria.
She's going to go 5, 10, 15 right here. Slide down right here.
Okay.
And she's going to cast Zirak, Rudy, and Drummond.
Did you say bless? Oh, 8. Okay.
Excellent.
So you guys get, what is it? Your max hit points go up by 8 or by 5. So, and that's for 8 hours. It was a strange sensation, Valeria, as you were intending to go in and help the people that needed help as well as your companions, as you know, even though you're sort of mad at a couple of them for their actions lately, but as soon as you got closer to the pit, you just wanted to get in. And as you land in the water, the feeling took you and sort of caught you off guard. The strong sensation to leap in was something that you weren't expecting as you wanted to do it, sort of hesitantly at first. You still have... Oh, I guess you can't use the bonus action. You still have the rest of your movement.
Okay. I'm going to... And then it's my turn.
Okay. The water begins to drain as you look, and it is steadily going down. You can start to hear a burble Behind you, Zirak, you look, and there's actually a drain hole here. And you watch as the water seems to be draining through these particular corners, sort of going down, and for the first time you realize that it's kind of a dome shape built for draining. As you take a closer look at the walls, now you're down below, and you see that they are just covered in old dried blood, new coagulating blood. It is kind of gross to behold.
And now it's all over my robes.
The Vrock is going to look over into this area as it was watching you the entire time, Thalion, as you were striking it pretty hard with your glaive as you're moving almost supernaturally fast. And it rears back and then it opens its beak as a strange cloud of yellow spores erupts. I need you and Garshadow to give me Constitution saving throws. Okay, Garshadow makes a save. You are poisoned. You're poisoned for 1 minute. You take 1d10 poison damage. And this person just chokes and sinks below the shallow water. Lamon.
Okay, crap. This guy's something to do here. I am going to... what can I do?
You intend to fight or spectate?
I can keep providing aid with... Since everyone else is going in, I might as well provide
Give
aid.
me a wisdom saving throw.
Look how many people are in a room.
So he's got the poison condition. Again, you resist that compulsion to make you want to jump in and take this thing on at such close range. And you sort of have to stagger back from the lip of this thing again and sort of shake this confusion out of your mind.
No.
So he is poisoned, and he takes the poison damage during the turn, and then at the beginning of his turn, he'll take the damage, and at the end of his turn, he can repeat the same. Go.
Shake my head. Just no. I can do better from a distance. That's what I'm made for. Clasps his hands, brings out his gloved hand, and casts Ray of Frost.
Okay. 21 definitely hits.
Yes.
So you watch as the Ray of Frost shoots over him, begins to coat him with ice, and then he sort of flexes his wings and arms out in a very DBZ-like way, sending the shards of snow and frost rocketing off of him, not doing as much damage as you thought it would.
Damn it! Right, new plan.
I was born of this, as it says in your mind.
That was new. Alright. That'd be it, probably just is like, it talked to me! That was creepy!
It talked. This commoner is going to attack for 1 point of damage. Zirak.
Alright, since I had just noticed that it didn't take much damage from that Ray of Frost, pulling out the small diamond from my pouch, I will as it grows to the size of a softball in my hand, it begins to spark with electricity around itself as I throw a ball of lightning at the creature.
Xeric just TPK'd the party.
You throw the ball of lightning, and almost nonchalantly you watch the wings come down and then flick the ball of lightning away, as if it wasn't going to do much harm to it anyways, and the ball shoots, hits one of the columns, and just explodes.
Okay, go get him, Thalion! All my power, apparently.
You have my blessing from a distance.
Elise.
I almost feel like you should have used fire.
I might be left with that.
These things are
my
tricky.
spells are almost all gone.
These things are very tricky. Do you intend to spectate, or do you intend to fight?
Well, I might as well join since everybody else seems to want to kill themselves.
Okay. Do you plan on fighting from there or down in the pit?
Yeah, she's gonna stay up there.
Okay, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, I'll do that first. Oh man, mummy.
You felt a strange compulsion as soon as you made the declaration to yourself in your heart that you were going to fight and help. There was a moment where you caught yourself taking small steps forward before you had to hold out and shoot your hand out against the column and stop yourself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab the column
what the
like
hell you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You get the idea that the closer you stand to this pit, both you and Lambmorn, there is a compulsion that wants you to jump in. Something that is drawing you inside the closer you stand to this thing.
I don't like this place. Even more so than before. Yeah, she's gonna cast a heartache at it, maybe. I should be close.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and cast Heartache. Okay. Charisma save. It's not very charismatic. It's kind of ugly.
It's a scary freaking thing.
And it rolls an 11, even with the +2 modifier to its save it has. So it's going to take the 19 psychic damage. And those of you watch as it kind of like takes a step back, and the hard eyes sort of widen and moistened a bit. And you're watching, did a demon just get sad?
You will believe fiends can cry.
Did he clutch his chest like he was hard to throat?
How dare you,
Before it shakes his head, before it shakes
you
his
just
head, it
see-
just roars.
As you just see Elise just kind of glare at you, Lemon, like, that is not a fiend. That is a monster.
Galleon, this thing is looking bloody. This thing is looking broken. And as you're getting ready to strike, you hear Rezamoda call out, "Do not kill it! Incapacitate it!"
Still not knowing his, like how skilled he is and being himself right now, I will kind of fall into it incapacitated.
Okay?
So,
So non-lethal damage with your blade.
What? Okay. I would yell out, kill it. Yeah, it has no place on the prime material plane. It is a demon from hell.
The 20 will hit, roll your damage. You guys watch as Thalion's glaive swings around, the flat ends turn at the last minute, and you watch as it smacks the thing on the back of the head. And it sort of, mid-scream, just goes mute, and it begins to lull, and then it falls into the ground, burbling into the water as it begins to, as the water begins to drain even further. Thalion, it is incapacitated. You still have 2 other attacks. What would you like to do?
With my hasted action, I will actually heal up Garsha as I look up at Rosamodo, you said?
Yep. You don't know his name, though.
Is that this person?
Yeah, you don't know his name, but his name is...
Do I know his name?
You do not know his name. You just hear everyone call him Lord.
Can I free action and look at him and go, are you not entertained?
Hold on, because I'm still on my turn.
Oh, sorry.
Is this enough? Do you believe what I was saying now?
I believe you jumped into this pit to help the people within.
If we can help them, do you not believe we can free you as well, so you do not have to put others through this?
Again, it is a possibility that I will take into account. But first you must realize that you are not the first ones to come here and make a promise not be able to keep it. Long years make anyone hesitate. But for now you have earned a modicum of my trust. I called to you not to kill the creature within, and you abdicated. You incapacitated it, and completed a task for me. With this, you gain my approval. And he sort of looks at each and every one of you and kind of nods his head. Come, get up from that place where we will talk business.
As I kind of...
Illyria sort of rushes over. The people here need help. And she's sort of looking at him, like, defiantly. Yes, Illyria, the people will get help.
I look up to the person speaking and say, Lord, what is your intention with that beast, that foul creature there in the mud? You do intend to send it back to its home plane, right?
I intend to break it. It is broken. If by some chance all of you had died during the fight, I would have stepped in and did it myself, for that is my job. That is what I am told to do.
What do you do with it once it's broken?
I hand it back to, and you see his lips kind of curl in distaste, like saying the words almost disgusts him and makes him angry. I send it back to the masters. It sounds like nobody's going to attack this thing, so it is... You guys are out of initiative. You guys can crawl out if you wish. As you guys begin to crawl out, you watch as the zombies begin to lower themselves in, and the 4 of them now begin to drag the unconscious form of the Vrock, and kind of making like a weird ant-like pile. They begin to push it up, roll it over, and it lands on top. And you watch as the White, known as Lorico, to this armored man that he called out, nods his head towards the Lord, and the White snaps its fingers, and the chains again clasp themselves to the wrist, neck, and ankles of this creature, and it almost begins to shrink in size a bit. And they begin to drag it up the steps out of you.
As Stallion's getting ready to climb out the armored woman, he wants to ask her, are you alright? Have you happened to seen a female druid in here as well?
I have seen many people come through here, but she looks over to Falk. We have not seen anyone that would fit a description of a druid. Is your friend powerful? Did she have magic?
She did. She usually turns into animals.
If she is strong in magic, then I fear she was taken deeper within. That is where they take all them who are stronger. The chosen, they call them. What happens to them within, I do not know. I just know that that is where they take them.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you for your help.
Of course.
And you watch as she sort of kneels down and she picks up the dead sort of villager, and you realize now that it's a younger woman, maybe in her early 20s, ragged and scarred, that this warrior is picking up. You study this woman, you see that she's somewhat powerfully built. Elvish features, long golden white hair, just like her picture entails. You notice that her face is scarred.
Have you been in here long?
I was sent by my king and queen as envoy to the elves of Karateracy. I remember a war breaking out. A war against the dead. I fought in a place called Usaria. And now I'm here. How much time has passed? I do not know.
A war with the dead. That was indeed a long time ago.
I have just been helping those that come here, protecting as many as I can. But I cannot protect them all.
Well, our goal is to eventually free everyone that we find in here.
Do you have a glyph key? A strand of crystal. Do you have one? Will you give it to me? I can save these people. Her eyes are firm, but they are calling out to you with a sort of heartfelt desperation that you feel like she truly means. That she wants to save these people.
The one we used in the gate that led us into here. It is still within that portal, which I believe is still open.
She looks deflated as you say that. And then she just begins to carry the body over towards these other two that are sort of hurting.
We will find a way out for you, I say as I start turning back towards the others.
I look at Zirak and say, of all people, why are you here?
You do seem familiar. I've seen your face before. On the road, perhaps.
Oh, I'm surprised you would recognize me all. After all, we went to school together.
Ah, yes, one of the lesser minds in my class. I do remember you.
Oh, you're still such a stuck-up know-it-all.
Well, it's good to see you're getting experience in the broad world. That's what I'm here for. What are you here? Are you just here sightseeing?
Oh no, I thought fighting demons against my will would be a fun thing to do. No! Why the hell would I want to do this type of thing?
I don't think you want to have your conversation while you're down in the pit now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I would reach out my hand and say, "Well, would you like a hand up?"
I'm already offering a hand. Anybody? So.
Do I know if I take his hand, will I get in trouble?
No, you don't know.
I will go and try to take his hand.
You take his hands. Zarek, go ahead and give me a strength check. And you, easily enough, pull this sort of emaciated man from the pit. It seems the heaviest part about him is his wet robes. But as soon as you pull him up, he stinks. And not just like I haven't bathed in a while stink, or like I've been sweating and haven't bathed for a while. Like, it smells like roadkill almost. It's kind of pink.
You're smelling rather rancid. Rudy, I think it's Rudy. Rudy, you can do something about smells, right? I mean, I guess I can too with Druidcraft as well. That's right, I can. So I will summon a puff of like flower rose petals and kind of blow it onto Falk and make him smell like he's wearing perfume.
There's just flower petals stuck to your face and your clothes.
I go in for a hug, and I hug him really tight, and I whisper in his ear, "Find my spell book and try to get this collar off me. I can't use my magic while it's on."
Do you know this man? The armored figure sort of looks at you as he's been kind of watching and listening into what you guys have been saying.
I do know this man.
We know of each other.
It's been a while since I last saw him, but we studied together at a college of magic.
Do you think this man would be helpful to you in your quest?
Well, his abilities were a bit mundane, and his grasp of the arcane was rather weak, if I remember correctly, but he could assist. I mean, I could use a helper in the lab if I need to concoct some new magic.
Weak?
He is your apprentice.
No wonder you didn't have any
Yes,
friends
I
at
could.
school.
I could call him an apprentice. Indeed, his skills would equal an apprentice. Yes.
Apprentice. And you watch as the figure holds his hand out and he sort of beckons you with some flicks of his fingers. Come.
Oh, to me?
Yes.
I'm kind of eyeing Jack. I'm like, you son of a...
I think as Falk's moving, I'll wave a hand for prestidigitation on his robes.
And I mean, as he walks, like, he stinks. Like, it's a bad stink. Oh, it's you don't know if it's just because he's been here, but the poor guy is in rough shape. And quickly, his hand darts to his sheath sword, and you watch as this large curved blade just shoots out, and you hear the slightest tink against the collar on your neck, and it sort of startles you as he turns the blade, and there's a flash of light, and the collar around your neck unclasps and falls to the ground. And he sort of flourishes his blade and drives it back into his scabbard. A master always needs an apprentice.
And what of the others?
The others go back to the cells. There, Illyria will watch them. It is a pact we made long ago.
Can I tell if he's lying about the pact?
Yeah, give me an insight check. You get the sensation that this is not a man that needs to lie.
So then
Okay.
you've been here since the Old War as well.
I've been here a few months.
Not you.
I've been here for over a millennia. And I will continue to do so until I am released. Now let us talk business.
May I have my things?
Go stand by your master, apprentice. Apparently I am speaking to your betters.
I look over at Xeric and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I don't say I mouth it.
I forget, Falk. Did you even graduate enough to specialize in the School of Magic, or were you still just learning the basics of prestidigitation and light?
I lasted longer than you did. As I recall, you left before graduation.
Oh, I've graduated in experience since then, my friend, as experience is the true teacher. My professor told me that.
Which professor was that?
Hold on, I'll check my backstory. I have him named.
Did you even go to the reunion?
Reunion?
I don't know, seriously, I didn't go either. I was wondering if you went.
My professor's name was Edfric Giles.
Did I have that professor as well?
No, you didn't specialize in that school. I told you who your main teacher was. That's in your notes somewhere. But
Okay, let me check.
Perhaps you... Sorry, I was in a text box, and so perhaps you had Professor Rhyme or Professor Ugwort. Maybe your memory is a bit fuzzy. Even though you say you stayed in school longer, I do recall everything I learned in school. If you need a refresher, maybe we could have a chance to sit down and go over some notes.
Well, like we were taught in school, knowledge is best shared, and I must admit, I agree with that. But I don't have my notes to share with you, as my stuff was taken when I was captured.
Then you must spend time exercising this, and I place my finger and tap it against the side of my temple. If you get really good at it, you can remember most everything without notes.
Falk, before we go any further, I need to ask the important questions. Do you owe allegiance to any sort of god or goddess or demon that might want to influence your actions against us?
I nod my head up and down vigorously as, yes, to the heart of the matter, that is the most important question, as I've come to learn on the road. And I'll actually take a step back towards Droman until Falk answers this question.
That's an obviously specific question to ask.
It would have come very useful with the last spellcaster we encountered. We don't talk about him much.
No, I do not worship.
He also claimed to be intelligent.
I hate you, Ken. But no, I do not worship any deity of sorts. My power comes from the weave.
Sounds legit.
Sounds very familiar.
Next question, are you looking for a job?
Oh my god, Droman, now's not the time.
No.
Hey, Lamorn, you be quiet. He'd be under your...
He would be the next. He'd be the next apprentice or employee. Oh.
Yeah, Leomorn would get to move up the chain, and this new guy becomes the FNG, and Leomorn doesn't have to do dishes anymore.
I am not looking for.
Well, Leomorn already upgraded to employee. Remember?
Maybe this is Leomorn's apprentice.
Yeah, that's what Driven was saying.
Can we at least?
I am not an apprentice.
Right now.
Can we discuss this later?
We're currently in a hall of death right now, so one thing at a time.
You guys watch as the zombies and the white march back down from the stairs and kind of take the position at the bottom. The armored man sort of calls out, "Escort the other two back. Feed them, bind their wounds, get them ready for their next fight. Please bring this one's," and he points to folks' possessions that we have in storage. "If you would be so obliged, Lorico." "Yes, Lord," the white sort of calls out, and you watch as they usher them back into a dark recessed corner as they sort of disappear into shadow. You cannot move within the hold unless you contain a glyph key. And he reaches into his breastplate and he pulls forth a chain, and dangling from it looks very much like the counterfeit key that Sin had made and gave to you that you guys left inside that outer portal. Except this one has a more clear, defined cut, almost as if it was made of diamond. It's a very clear crystal stone. Deactivate the gates to let you pass. Mine specifically is attuned to everything here within the demon hold. If you need to go to another section of the consortium, you will need a master crystal.
And how can we obtain such a crystal?
You obtain such a crystal by taking it from a willing or unwilling master of that specific vault floor. I will part with my glyph key, but I ask for one condition, and his voice kind of softens.
And what is that condition?
The chance to see my family again. And to have that chance, I require blood. Hers, in particular. And he points to Valyria.
Why do
A
you
drink of
require
blood. A drink of blood for unfettered access to the demon hold.
Would you be using this blood, and what type of ritual are you using this for?
He holds out his hand, and for the first time his features soften. They're not rigid. He's not... What's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't look like he's anxious or nervous. He seems very relaxed as he's sort of close to you. Come, I will explain.
I'll follow him.
He's looking to Valyria, and he's not moving. He's asking her to come closer.
Follows.
So do you move closer to him?
Yeah.
As you approach, he turns to you and he pulls back his hood. And there you see a clean-shaven head. The features, for the first time, the closer you get now, you look at a face that looks like it would fit someone of color more than it would have someone his pale skin. Almost as if he was an albino. Like, the color of the skin doesn't match the geographical look of his face. His body was meant to have had a deeper tan, perhaps skin, a darker brown. His features all resonate the same thing. Long ago, my family was taken from me. I can see them clearly. I can recall them. But I do not remember what it feels like to love them. I despise what I am. But the blood is the only way. And then for the first time he sort of opens his mouth, and you see the two fangs jutting from his upper jaw. He is indeed a vampire. And he closes his mouth and he looks to you. I was forced to become this. Turn. As they destroyed everything around me. Put this collar around my neck. And stuck here. To obey like a dog. I ask for something so small of you, maiden of the lady. Would you allow me a small mercy, knowing the monster I am?
I guess I will. Not seeing your family.
And he takes your hand, and he bends it backwards, exposing your wrist from your gauntlets. And he takes a long, nailed finger and slashes it across your wrist, and the blood begins to flow. And he puts it to his mouth, and he begins to drink. Slowly, and you feel kind of weak at first until he stops. And you feel his grip tighten, almost staunching the blood flow with how strong it is. It almost kind of hurts. And he holds it there for a long time. And this is turning into like a very awkward, silent moment for the rest of everybody. As his eyes are closed and he's just squeezing onto Valyria's wrist, and you see Valyria sort of wincing in pain as she's sort of bracing herself against the column behind her. And he lets go, and the blood still trickles, though the pressure from his hand has kind of forced the blood flow to stop, and you feel your hand's a little numb, but you're able to sort of bandage it in that time. And he takes his chain off that holds the crystal glyph key, and he hands it to you, and he nods his thanks as he puts his hood back up. And he kind of turns to address the rest of you. The master of the demon hold. His name is Vosal Frostwhisper. He is a lich who has unnaturally lengthened his life by hiding his soul. He holds the master key that can get you out of this place. To move to different vaults, you must obtain the key from him. It's simple, no?
So he's a lich.
Yes. As most of the things within the Shadow Consortium are. Liches, necromancers, those who deal with dark magics.
I spit.
I will buy you time if people come asking.
Mark, have I heard... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, ask.
I was saying, have I heard of this organization he's speaking of?
You have never heard of something called the Shadow Consortium. This is all. This is the moment where everything is kind of falling on you at once, and it's kind of hard to believe. One, how you got yourself into this situation, why this is happening to you, why is Zirak here, and why is he calling you his apprentice? Like, all this shit is coming down like a snowstorm, and like, you're just trying to catch your breath and process this information, and it's really hard because you're exhausted. The collar has fallen off of your neck, and you feel you're starving, you're dehydrated, you feel weak, like the unnatural energy that collar was giving you to keep going to fight these demons is wearing off. You're waiting on your stuff. Like, this is all terrible. But yeah, you've never heard of this place, and you don't know why you're here. You don't know the place's true purpose. And from what this person is saying, not even he knows the true purpose. He was brought here, forced to do a job, and he does that job.
Would you say his soul is hidden somewhere within the tower as well?
From what the apostles say, a man who calls himself a lich hides his soul within an object, keeping it safe away from his body. If his body is destroyed, his soul is restored, and there it regenerates a new one. They are just as much of an abomination as I.
What? And surely you're powerful. Why haven't you tried to destroy or take over?
Again, he holds down, and he pulls down his hood, and you see around his neck, he wears a collar as well. But unlike your collar of darkened iron covered in runes, this one is gold-plated. And it is intricately carved with lines and lines and lines of magical text. I disobey, I die. I die, I do not return. If I die, I cannot exact my vengeance, so I abide my time.
We will do what we can to find his item. He hides his soul, since we will have to take care of him in the meantime anyways. Can you tell me
If
where
you-
the other cells are?
If you delve deep within the demon hold, beware. Within it resides a maze. The maze of undoing. It was constructed to mentally break down the fabric of the mind. Demons, fiends, even one such as yourselves. It has no easy exit. And you find yourself trapped within if you dare its darkened halls. Many fiends can climb, and it seems those ones are the ones that have found success. But we have stopped using it a while ago, but it is still active. Many temptations lie within, if you are up to the challenge. But it is a wager that has taken many lives. I simply ask that you grab the Master Key, for the Master Key can free me as well. And just know that the many other vaults within this place hold their own magical powers, though I do not stray from here.
Say we get the key and release you, what's stopping you from overpowering us?
Faith. And he just kind of looks you in the eye.
I'm staring back at him because I know of him and he's just been watching for months, so me and him are not exactly on terms.
I mean, you're staring at him in the eye, and he pulls his sword out. Continue to look at me further, and I will accept your challenge to combat.
Knowing the state I am, I know it's not wise, so I would.
You are his
Turn away.
apprentice, but to me you are a dog. A dog never looks his master in the eye, and you feel the weight of his stare burrowing into you, like stacks of iron being plied onto your shoulders. It is a heavy, physical thing, the stare of this man.
So this maze, Daniel will say, kind of interrupting, is there a purpose for us to even be near it? Are there more cells out there as well, even though it's not active?
You entered in what is known as a Black Gate. Black gates can take you into the most hidden sanctums of this place. The Master Keys allow you to navigate these gates, but you must hold 4. Only the most trusted are given these. Only the most trusted are given access to the inner sanctums. You say you're looking for a druid, one with power close to nature. If you want to save her, if she is still alive, then you want to find the inner sanctum. The collars that the slaves wear serve a purpose. The collars that the demons wear serve a purpose. The power and energy they exude during the breaking is siphoned, stored, and used. Which is why the Master's apprentice was emaciated and weak. Though his body was given food and his muscles exercised, his energy was simply drained away for something else.
So I look like one of those World War II camp prisoners.
You look like you just walked out of a concentration camp. Like you've been here for quite a while, and you feel physically weak. Like it's with the collar off, it's even worse. But now you know why.
Do you know the different purposes of each color?
I only know the purposes of my color. These are specifically made to siphon from the breaking. I only handle the breaking.
If you were able to remove my collar so easily, say we find his friend, could you remove hers as easily as you remove mine?
If your friend is within the inner sanctum, she is not wearing a collar. If your friend is within the inner sanctum, let's just say they're siphoning off more than her energy. In a way, this is beneficial. Get a master key, you free me. I can aid you as part of our deal. Bring it back to me and I can help you and tell you who else has the master keys. Once you have the master keys, you can access the Eye of Eternity. Once there, if your friend is indeed there, if your friend is alive, then you can save her. If not, then she's already been extracted.
What do you mean by extracted?
Time is ticking. If you value your friend's life, then perhaps you should get moving. Just then, the sounds of marching feet as the White reappears with the zombies. The White is carrying a crate. The White marches forward and drops the crate on the ground next to Illyria before marching backwards, taking her place in the line of zombies awaiting orders.
I rush up and see if it's my stuff, and if it is, I make sure all of it's there.
It is your stuff, and it is all there. You hear the vampire then call out to Lorico to prepare for the next breaking. Bring the orcs, he says. Lorico nods, and Lorico begins to march back towards the corner, disappearing in shadow through the wall.
I look at Ilaria and I say, I will do everything I can to get you out of your contract and set you free of this place.
If you set him free, you can get me a key. Find me a key. I can help those within, but there is someone here I need to find. Someone that came with me that I haven't seen for a while.
Who
Just
is
know
that?
this. In my time here, I've overheard the apostles. When they come through this area, many speak out loud, not caring what our ears hear. They think we're all destined to die. But the next vault to the south of us, they call it the Aquatus. There are vats there that hold the power over life. I'm not exactly sure what that entails, but if you should find yourself there, I hope that knowledge aids you. But the man I'm looking for, if you can bring me news, if you can save him, his name is Merowyn Windstride.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
It does not.
Okay, there was a wind of something in my background, so I got.
He was captured with me during that war, but he wasn't kept where I was kept. Please, find me a glyph key, so I can take these people from this hellhole. And she grips your shoulders with a very, very strong, fervent grip as she sort of stares deep into your eyes. Please, folk. I protected you in here. Now you protect me.
I nod and say I will.
And she begins to hesitantly turn back. And you watch as she begins to sort of solemnly march back in the direction of where the whites and the zombies went. On her own volition, marching back and disappearing in the shadows in the back. I'll say that you guys can take a short rest during this, sure. Then we have an accord.
Yes.
Once you get the master key, you will come back here.
Mark, do I still have all my spell slots since I could not cast spells at all?
Yeah, we'll say after the short rest you get them back now.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I knew the collar suppressed my magic. I just wasn't sure
Yeah, because you haven't used any spell slots, so unless you want to on Xerac right now.
Was Ilaria wearing the same kind of collar I was wearing, or was hers different?
It's the same exact iron collar with runes on it.
Okay, and if you didn't see in the chat, I did pick up my collar. I went back, picked it up.
Oh,
Now
your collar wasn't there.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
It fell off of you, landed on the ground. You went to try to find it. You couldn't find it.
Damn it.
There is another vault within the consortium. It is called the Halls of Fate. I tell you this information to expound on our trust. It is where the masters dwell. There, within their sanctum, it is known that necromancy can be reshaped to restore life. And you see him sort of grimace in pain. Rudy, Thalion, and Valeria, you smell what seems to be burning flesh. And you watch as he sort of uncomfortably turns his neck. The scent of my burning skill tells me I am revealing too much. No, you enter into a place that only the initiated tread. Whatever gods you hold dear, best pray to them, if they can even hear you.
Thank you for all the information you've given.
Now I give you a warning. On the south side of this room there is a staircase. You are under no circumstance to enter that room. You will have no business there. If you choose to enter, then you will force me to take action against you. And you look as he points, and you can actually see the staircase and what seems to be a red ball floating in the air, bobbing almost, shedding a crimson light. And you look beyond, and it seems the whole room is bathing in this red crimson light. Now go. I have demons to break.
Glancing over at the room, Thalion kind of looks at it, lingering, then kind of nods to. We'll look for the next area for us to traverse.
He points down the hallway. This way. And then he turns and he stares down at the pit. And then he crosses his arms and begins to watch him passively. As you guys begin to march off, you guys hear the sound of roaring, deep guttural voices. If anybody speaks Orcish, you can definitely hear Orcish.
As we're making our way, I want to walk next to Falk and ask him what school of magic he studied at the college.
Like you, I left before I focused on one particular school. So, a little bit of everything, I would say.
I didn't leave before I had time to study one particular school, but I understand that maybe someone of your intellect might have needed more time than I would have needed. But go on.
If you would have remembered, me and my family had a bit of a falling out, and they could no longer help fund my expenses.
Yeah, I paid for my schooling through working for the professors and advancing their knowledge of magic.
Would Xeric have known I was from a noble family?
No, because Xerac doesn't know you, so...
Yeah, I'm assuming that I know you only, like, cursory, like I would have seen you passing in the hall kind of thing. Or maybe had
like
you in
classmate
class.
acquaintance of acquaintances.
Yeah. You obviously weren't on the honor roll. I get it. It's okay.
He was just a passerby.
You guys begin to walk up towards the north side of this room, and as the tapestries disappear, you see a hallway that stretches down with a faint glowing white light that seems to pulsate the closer you get. You turn the corner, you walk into the hallway, and you guys look and see a 10-foot diameter circle of runes carved on the ground that glow white hot. And it's sending a shaft of light straight up to the top. The shaft of light sort of undulates, pulses. It's luminous. A white mist sort of shimmers inside, and it kind of obscures what lies on the other side. The closer you get and you inspect, and you see that the runes themselves are carved deep into the stone of the hallway. And it is filled with a sort of powdery quartz-like material.
Valiant continues forward.
You continue forward, and you rebound off of the white light. It almost rebukes you, like a pinball paddle rebuking a steel ball, and you fly backwards. And the group sort of catches you, and there's kind of like that comical, you land on everybody and everybody falls over the hallway kind of thing. And you take 7 points of force damage as you were launched backwards as you tried to walk into this luminous light.
Who has the crystal?
Still.
She just typed it in chat.
I was asking in character, like, who has the crystal? My lady, if you would so please.
People need to be patient.
I have been here for many months.
Valeria, what do
I
you do?
look
with
for
the
where I'm
crystal?
supposed to put it. Isn't there
see
supposed to be like somewhere you're supposed to put it in?
There isn't a slot or anything like that. You look to the ground, and all the ridges there are filled with the quartz powder. You look around on the walls, and there's no place to put it. There's just this shimmering, pulsating white light in front of you. that apparently will rebuke you with some force if you try to enter it.
I placed the crystal in front of me and I on the wall, I think. I don't know
So
where
as
the
you
writing is.
you hold the crystal out in front of you, and you touch the light. And as soon as you touch the light with the crystal, it goes down, revealing a hallway that leads into another room. It's sort of, kind of like a teleporter in Star Trek, where the light sort of beams down and then disappears. The light just sort of sank from the ceiling, and you watch as the pulsating runes now sort of being held there in place by the glyph key.
Huh. That's very clever.
Interesting indeed.
Valiant begins to walk over tentatively and makes it across, this time not being rebuked. Valeria, you get the idea that if you have the key, only you can prevent this thing from popping back up. So you have to hold the key and the light to keep it dormant to let everybody pass before you can move through. Because once you take it out, the light, like right now it's Fox walking through, you can take the crystal out, and then the light will just zap him and throw him out of there.
Okay, no, I'll just wait.
Okay, so we'll say that you wait, let everybody pass through.
Easy. Easy. Just pile in.
I will move you to the next map. You walk through this hallway, emerging from the other side. Valeria, you pass last.
Mark, I don't see anything on this map. Did you forget to give me dark vision for this token?
I don't see. Yeah, I see darkness as well.
Darkness.
I know why, because I put you guys on the dynamic lighting layer.
That would do it. I've done the same thing. I've put creatures on that layer, and I'm like, why can't I click their tokens?
Okay. Back to, you guys enter through the hallway. Valeria, you're the last one to pass. As soon as you step out of the light circle and pull the diamond key away, the gate illuminates again. And you sort of hold the key back to it, and as soon as you touch it, like it powers down. Stallion and Leomorn, as you guys sort of march through, you enter a odd room. It smells of wood smoke. It's an acrid tang in the atmosphere. The wood paneled walls, you notice as you begin to look in, very dry. There are scorch marks. Cracks in the paneling reveal bare stone, pockmarked and dimpled. Directly in front of you is a runic circle. As your dark vision looks within, you see two more identical runic circles, carved into the smooth marble floor, each edged with multiple runes. Further down, you see a set of double doors.
Do the runes look like any specific language?
You don't know. You have to enter and bend down and look at the runes. Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. I was going to ask you if it was a familiar script.
It looks like This actually looks like gibberish to you, Thalia. Everything is so compact and carved in together, it looks like pure gibberish. Lamorn, as you bend down and look, as you watch as Thalion kind of scratches his chin as he looks at this and just sort of huffs in irritation and gets up and sort of looks around this room. You bend down and take a look, and as you look closer, you do see that these runes are gibberish, but below the runes, underneath it, sort of craftily hidden, are warding glyphs. And it makes your skin tingle with static electricity. It is an energy that you were all too familiar with. These glyphs harness the power of lightning.
I'll just like hold up my head. Don't get any closer to these things.
There is a faint, whirring, buzzing sound that seems to be getting louder and louder and louder, picking up gradual speed. It's like standing inside a power room in a building or standing next to a transformer. It's that electrical buzzing.
Would I be able to tell like where the source might be coming?
Give me a perception check. You look around and the sound seems to be emanating and just echoing from the walls. You walk over to the north wall and you begin to run your hands through and you listen closely and you hear it. But you turn your head a certain way and then you swear that it's back where you came from and you walk over there. And it's a very well crafted trick of the mind that this sound seems to emanate from every corner of this place. Kind of like a speaker hanging up and sort of pointed down. It's just showering everything with this noise.
Don't like this. I don't like. I'll just look over to the side. Stirak, can you come down here real quick and reconfirm what I've just seen?
Can you hear this?
I would be happy to.
And it's gradually getting louder.
Probably not. Back in the hole. Back in the hole.
Around here?
So the circle is humming?
The humming seems to be coming from all over. There is a door. You guys see a door.
I'm gonna move over towards the door after Leomorn says, never mind.
That's what I'm doing.
And the sound stops. Falk. Nope. You guys stay where you were as Falk started moving down. As soon as you step into this corner, you watch as the runes next to you glow. And this lightning storm rains from the ceiling. I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Just me?
Just you. You're the only one that was close at that point.
No, back up! Back up!
You dodge out of the way and you will take half damage.
I avoided the glyphs!
But half damage is just a straight 2d6, so I'm sorry. So
Is it normally 46? If it's 46, wouldn't you...
You take 5 points. You take 5 points of lightning damage, and you watch as the light disappears, and all that's left is smoke. And then you hear a as the buzzing noise continues again.
And now I see the little orb. Do I see the little orb in the center now?
What's that?
I see.
Oh no, that's sorry, that's my dim light orb. It's supposed to be transparent. So if you see that little dim orb, that just means it's casting dim light because the walls cast dim light. So
Okay,
don't mind
okay.
that means nothing. Give me a perception check. Those of you in the room minus Leomorn, since you did it first, go ahead and give me a perception check, which is Zirak and Valeria. And
Now I am observant. Is my passive is 16? Do you still need me to roll?
this needs to be an active check.
Okay. Observant only adds 5 to my passive.
Passive perception. And you can read lips. Yeah, I'll say Roman can do it. That's the observer. No one else is watching. You guys begin to look around, but then it's the sound of the bzzz that starts back up. That is picking up gradual noise. It's like something is charging up with energy. Drummond, you take a step into the room and you look around and you spot what seems to be like a ball embedded into the ceiling, about 20 feet up. It is of a dull iron. And you watch as carefully there are flickers of electricity dancing over it quickly. Causing
I'll
it
put
to
Flame one in the
sparkle.
back and point up at that and I'm like, what is that?
Leomorn, you look up and there is a steel or dull iron ball in the ceiling embedded in the stone. And as you watch it, it flickers with energy. And as the sound intensifies, the flickering energy intensifies. It's almost mesmerizing until you realize that thing's going to rain lightning down again.
Everyone, into the hall! Quickly! Quickly!
Which circle is the one that's... Or is it just one?
The circle that you guys saw get struck by lightning last time was this one.
Is there like a lightning ball in each circle that might indicate which one's going to strike next?
You guys wait and watch.
I think Elise is still
crescendo
stuck on that
builds.
one.
The crescendo builds, and then the sound stops. Again, you watch the one in the middle light up. All this lightning just rakes around the edges, striking through the middle. You watch as arms of it shoot off against the wall, casting scorch marks, causing the wood panels to smoke, dry, crack, some of them exploding, exposing the bare stone behind it. As the light goes out, and again, the middle is just left smoking.
I'm
I
now.
see absolutely nothing but a black screen right now.
Oh, you didn't group yourself up with everybody, did you?
Yeah, I think her token is not with the ones copied and pasted to this page.
Well, I didn't touch nothing. I just refreshed the page.
Yeah, I know. We all grouped up in the corner when we were going through the.
I think everybody
hallway.
grouped up, and then you left your token by the pit. So I didn't get you. So I got.
No, I was up there. I saw. Yeah, I was actually standing right where Leomorn was the whole time. Yeah, I was standing here the whole time.
Oh,
And then it went black.
I see you now. Are we getting a sense, guys, of
Yeah, I've
what's
been-
activating the magic in this room, or are we still stumped on what's causing it to build?
The buzzing.
Larry, you're not using your
Begins
key or
again.
anything?
Can we see this door over here?
Yeah, we see the door. I was
You
about
guys,
to.
saw the door as soon as you stepped into this room. It's quite visible. It's two large iron double doors.
I was gonna run to the door and see if it's locked.
Okay.
Right after it went off again.
It went off. The lightning stops. You step into the room and you run up and you push on the doors. They are indeed locked.
Okay, I run back saying the doors are locked.
I'm up here. I want to check the lock, see if I can pick it.
It looks like a very old, archaic, large key lock. Kind of like that you would see like in an old-timey like jail movie. Like it's a really stupid big lock. Like they don't expect people to come here. You bend down as the sound of the buzzing begins to grow louder and louder. Go ahead and give me a thieves' tool check.
Careful in there.
You hear the click. You feel something give, and the door pushes a little bit with the pressure of you sort of holding onto it.
I'll go ahead and like roll into the room.
Okay, you open the door. You roll in just as the sound stops.
Also, as Falk runs back to like, the door's locked. He hears a click, and I'm like, no, it's not.
Mark, did you say that the noise stopped?
The noise stopped.
When the noise stops, now there's light.
Next to all of you begins to illuminate. As remember, the buzzing noise stops right before it discharges. I can take a picture if you guys want, but on the 1d3 I rolled a 1, which is that circle up there. So I need Elise, Falk, Valeria, Zirak, and Lamor to give me dexterity saving throws. God,
Oh, fuck
Chris,
me.
it's only a DC 10. It's only a DC 10. Come on. There you go.
Well, I rolled a crit, and then I rolled a crit fail.
Falk and Elise, you guys are going to take 4d6. 13. Zirak and Valeria, you guys are going to take 2d6. 7. As Droman screams, "The door's open!" As the light dissipates,
I want to run for the door.
I'm
and
right
the rooms are
behind
just
him.
left smoking. And as you guys are running through, the noise,
Go!
as it begins to go, as it's charging up. You guys run to the bottom of the stairs and you stop. And you're staring at a very, very strange room. As soon as you hit the bottom of the stairs, the sweet, heady sense of floral incense sort of bombards you, hangs thick in the air as you stare into a very opulent chamber. Zirak, this sort of rouses your loins a bit as it reminds you of Sin's luscious tent. Those of you who are actually Valeria, as you reach the bottom, you're kind of repulsed, as this reminds you of Sin's tent. The walls are covered with beautiful silk tapestries, greens and yellows, vibrant colors all over, as candles float in the air, giving this a very relaxed atmosphere. Spread along the floors are comfy and luxurious oversized cushions on top of carpets. To the south, as you enter, you see 2 large wooden sliding double doors. As a woman stands at the sound of your clattering approach as you close the doors behind you. I wasn't expecting guests. Please, come in. You look around and sort of laying down in their own divans and cushions seem to be 4 figures that are kind of relaxing, staring up at the tapestries, drinking goblets of wine. Please don't be shy. Come in.
I'll flop down on some cushions.
They feel it. Stupid comfortable. I am embarrassed to say that this is my home.
Do I recognize
Or
her?
whatever one I can make of such a place. You do not. She was not somebody that you saw within the Hall of Breaking. Can I get you something to drink, perhaps? How did you find yourselves here?
Through a series of interesting events. What is this place?
Please, come, sit. And she kind of moves off to the back corner and she begins pouring goblets of wine. And she brings it, sort of hands each and every one of you a cup. I'm afraid it's all I have at the moment. It's quite good.
That's fine. We do not have long, sadly.
Oh, I think we could probably give it a few minutes, Thalion. It's been a busy day. As I look around appreciatively at the surrounding decorations.
Why are you here? And her voice kind of drops conspiratorially. Towards you, Rudy, as you're the closest.
She kind of just throws up her hands like, "You got me."
Have they finally sent someone to rescue me? Are you here to save me?
Are you friends with the elf over there? And I point at Thalion.
I've never met him before.
Then
Please.
unfortunately we're not here to save you.
They're holding me against my will, making me do things I do not want to do. Please, take me from this place. What do you want? I'll give it to you. Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check, because everybody's like this.
Fuck me!
You are so moved by her emotion that your eyes begin to glitter with tears a bit as you feel her pain in your heart. Valeria, you get the sense that this person is being held against her will here.
Can I see it? Do I see if she has a collar on her?
She indeed has a collar on her. What you do notice automatically, Rudy, is that she is adorned and decorated in very fine jewelry. The collar itself is sort of hidden underneath what seems to be a gold and jade necklace that is incredibly opulent, incredibly beautiful. You can imagine something like that is worth a lot. You look at the fine silks of her clothing in a very odd style that's not very common in the Northern Human Empire, as well as jangling bangles of pure gold, earrings of rubies and topaz, a belly button ring of a very large diamond.
Mark, do I recognize these cloaked figures? I mean, were these the? I mean, were they like
You've never
soldiers that
seen
walked around?
You've never seen these cloaked figures before. The only people that you've had interactions with were the Pale Woman, the zombies, whites, and occasional skeletons that would come into the room.
Okay.
Seeing the group and all these other people right now is kind of the first signs of human life you've seen since Illyria and perhaps Resimota. Because you already knew that the Pale Woman was indeed a vampire. But as you sort of walk by them, they seem very docile. Their eyes are kind of clouded. Their stares very melancholy, far away. Some of them have very dumb smiles on their face as they kind of look out into nothing.
Do they have a wine goblet in their hand by chance?
They do not have wine goblets in their hands. There are wine goblets on the ground next to them. But in their hands, you do see what seemed to be a strange reed pipe attached to a long woven tube that leads into a small glass decanter, sitting on top of which is a orange cherry of something that looks like it's burning. It smells sickly sweet.
So they're smoking hookah. Gotcha.
And you've encountered things before like this. You've seen clubs or bars, taverns with lower sections where you see such drug dens as you see now.
I believe that she is a prisoner and everything, but do I get the feeling like if we decide to, like, say, rest here, will we feel safe here?
Your 7 insight tells you that you want to save this woman and perhaps you don't want to leave her.
Well, I am hurt, and it seems like, from what I understand, you guys are down on some resources.
You call out and you say you're hurt, and she rushes to you and she kind of throws her hands around you and kind of holds on to your face. Is there anything I can do to help you?
I go red.
And she's sort of looking at you, doe-eyed, and her beautiful, beautiful blue eyes sort of look into yours, and you're kind of mesmerized. Please, please, lay down. And she takes you towards one of the pillows. We need not worry about them hearing us. They are too far within the dream. Why have you come here, if not to save me?
I was captured like you, and these people just freed me.
She stands up and kind of leaves you on the cushions. She turns and she runs to Leomorn, and she kind of throws herself on Leomorn. She kind of puts her hand on your cheek as she looks deep into your eyes. It's true. You saved him, now you'll save me. Leomorn, she smells so good. The skin of her hands are so soft. She is strikingly, heart-achingly beautiful, as she is staring at you with plump, red lips, pale skin, and pleading eyes.
Can I do a quick insight check on her?
For what?
Because it's...
What are you trying to get insight on?
Well, kind of how fast she seemed really dismissive on Falk, and now suddenly I'm the target.
Well, because Falk said, they saved me. So she's turning away from the person who was just saved to the saviors. You can read that pretty quick.
Turn a bit red, shaking my head and lightly slapping myself. Just what?
I will stand up and step forward and
Leomorn,
hold out my hand.
As you begin to try to slap yourself, she stops you and she grabs your hand and she holds it. Squeezes. Please, no, don't hurt yourself over me.
What? Well, my lady, you're so much.
And she's just staring up at you, looking at you. She moves her mouth like closer and kind of rests her face against your hand. Please, I don't want to be here anymore. As Bova plays with this week.
Well, the thing is, we are still trying to find a way. That's still... We're still figuring things. We're just going as we go, honestly.
All I need is a key. The man who holds me prisoner here, he put this around my neck. While it is here, I cannot leave this room. Find me the key. Take this off of me, and I will run from this place myself. And she, like, you hear her voice cracking with emotion as she's kind of looking at you, and she's sort of squeezing her hands, and her face is just taut, just rife with just this emotional agony. I cannot take this anymore. Please.
Stallion steps up at this point. We're heading to deal with the person who is holding the master key. This will hopefully free everyone who is bound. Can you be patient until we take care of this person?
I want you to bring me back his head, so I can look and spit on it myself.
Was this person the necromancer?
Vosal, she says as she spits on the ground.
So. And I didn't get a chance to see it earlier on the vampire. Could I get a closer examination of the collar as it looks intact, like
You
writing?
can. You sort of glance a look at it, as you catch, like, sights, like, bare glimpses of, like, her cleavage and her bosom through her very thin silk outfit. And you sort of, and kind of, like, adjust your gaze a bit. And you look down closer intensely at it, and you can see that it is more of the same hieroglyphic script. Though unlike the hieroglyphic script symbols that you saw upon the gateway key that you guys found at the top of the tower, these are all in concentric lines, 5 deep from top to bottom, scratched in very carefully, quite artfully. Whoever crafted this gold collar, they did it with beautiful craftsmanship, and the devils are definitely in the details.
What is it he's been forcing you to do down here, stuck in this room?
What does this room look like to you? And she kind of snarls a little bit as she says it. What do you think they make me do?
I'll try after examining
These
the
men
collar.
aren't here just to get high. She takes the goblet from your hand, Laymore, and just downs it and throws it on the ground.
I'll kind of look at the collar, lean in towards Stallion. Well, whoever crafted these collars has quite the skilled hand. They definitely will not be let loose with just any normal club. And whatever markings that they might do, I'd rather not trigger them. Not until we can find something like a skeleton key or something, which hopefully this master...
We already have that information. It is the master crystal that we must find.
Doug, you're quiet.
Yes, but we can only... Well, let's hope
Yeah,
there's
Doug,
not a
your
catch.
voice is super quiet. It's hard to hear.
Yeah, that was good, actually.
Might have been when I had to reset everything. I'll have to.
See, it sounds better there.
Yeah, you sound a little better there right now.
Because I have your user volume turned up to 200 on my side.
I'll have to tinker with everything later.
Okay. What do you wish of me? Do you need my body? I'll give it to you if you free me. Please.
Your body is.
If you entered here, that means you have a glyph key. Let me have the glyph key and I can try to escape. If you wish to kill him, then bring me his head. I'll give you my glyph key. Something, please. I'm going mad.
If you allow us to safely rest here, we will bring you his head.
You can rest here for maybe 1-2 hours at most. before the next group come.
Next group.
This is a large place. And her voice kind of goes distant.
Oh boy.
Please be patient as we will go take care of this person and free everybody.
Shall we slit these guys' throats while we're here, or shall we just leave them be?
Do not awaken them from the dream.
By slitting their throats, we attract attention, and then there will be a lookout for us. We should let them be. Before we depart, may I ask your name?
Call me Parasha.
Have you seen other captives within here?
I am the only captive within this place. For the people that come here are the initiates. They do not bring anyone else.
But if we're leaving, do we take door A or door B?
There is a door, though I do not think you like where it goes.
And where is that?
She begins to walk to the other side of the room. She moves some of the pillows out of the way, giving this area a wide berth. Come. The further into the room you get, the more uncomfortable the heat is. Falk, you move, and it's almost stifling, as if you're standing next to a heater on high, wearing full winter clothes inside a stuffy closed room.
Is it like a sauna type heat?
It feels like a dry sauna the closer you move to this side of the room. Like it is almost unbearable. You can feel the heat radiating from the walls. She takes her hand and she pushes on the wall. Whoosh! And then it slides off to the side. I don't know if I actually left. I'll have to move you guys in. So this will be Theater of the Mind really quick. I had to break these maps down like one by one to be able to fit it to where everybody can actually move around freely without it lagging. So the wall slides, and as the wall slides out of the way, a rush of heat, like a forge bellow, shoots out. You look at the walls and they are scorched and burned. Orange and red runes glow brightly inside as a large, towering pillar of fire that seems to move on its own volition moves around and rages within this small room. It sees you as you stand there, and you watch as it charges and sort of shrinks itself to fit in the smaller hallway as a flaming hand reaches forward as it hits an invisible barrier and it's rebounded. And it just screams in rage. This weird sort of voice that sounds like the gas on a blowtorch being turned up and down. rages on the other side as fire is flinging from its hands and it's hitting the walls. It is raging in place.
What is that thing?
That is an elemental. One made of fire. It is kept here to heat the consortium. She points up and you see that there are ducts inside the room, like small square holes that the heat would escape from and travel to each area. This is their living furnace room.
I want to go up to the door that she opened. I want to just touch it, see if it burns me.
You touch it and it is red hot.
And then I'm kind of looking at her curiously.
She looks at you and she points at her collar. And then she touches the wall again for effect, and nothing happens.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Are they actually keeping a live elemental just for power source?
Probably not unheard of. I mean, if you were a wizard or a spellcaster strong enough to control an elemental to heat your furnace, wouldn't you?
This is between asking and forcing, and I'd rather do the earlier than the.
The heat in that area, Falk, is getting to the point of your skin is drying out, like you're standing too close to a campfire. But you sort of watch as Droman moves up and kind of peeks in, seemingly unaffected.
Now I'm looking at Droman curiously.
Are you showing us this route past this elemental as another way?
On the other side of this room is another door. I have only seen it open twice. But
What
it is
happened
there.
to-
It continues further in.
What would happen if we say extinguish said elemental or set it free?
You can try. But no, I will close this door behind you so it does not come in here. Pillows are flammable.
Is this other door locked on the other end? Do not wish for us all to walk in here only to be trapped with an elemental.
It is much like this. Push on it and apply pressure and it breaks the seal and opens it. While those runes are active, the elemental cannot leave that room. And you hear this thing just screaming, throwing fireballs everywhere like it is pissed.
Well, I think the bigger problem is how are we going to resist the heat if we go this way?
Well, spellcasters, maybe you can figure something out?
I don't think I could reinforce everybody all the time, now can I?
I don't know that I am that my magic is sufficient to match an elemental, a raw elemental.
I mean, you guys remember fighting what seemed to have been two corrupted elementals.
Oh,
before
fighting
you
it,
delved
yes.
down.
I have no problem with that. I thought you meant like dispel it or control it. Oh, you want me to destroy
Yeah,
it?
we fought elementals before.
Yeah, I have no
Remember how
problem.
fun that was?
Yeah.
Right,
Well-
Valeria? Nudge, nudge.
Well, if we are to...
I was referring to trying to understand it, as I did with our vampire upstairs.
If we were to go continue on with our stealth mission, I don't think destroying the elemental will be on our best interest.
Is this the only way through?
With the way you came back through. These are the only ones that I know of.
Where through these two sets of doors here?
You are more than welcome to open them, though I will say the contents might make you blush. You slide open that one, and you see that it is a closet full of fine women's silk gowns, undergarments. You are looking through her underwear drawer pretty.
I close the drawer.
And you turn back and she gives you a smile, sort of sheepish. I told you it'd make you blush.
We're gonna go through option A.
Out of curiosity, would I be able to... Can I understand the elemental?
Hey, Leomorn speaks primordial. I was waiting for that.
I was just kind of curious,
the closer you get,
where I'm standing.
The closer you get, through the incoherent roars, you begin to pick up what seems to be babbling words. You hear a mixture of different things. Some words you clearly cannot understand fully, but you catch glimpses of what sounds like home. Return. Freedom. That he seems to be saying through his rage. Release. It's a very simplistic language that gets to the point. Your brief time of actually studying books, this is the first time you've ever really heard primordial spoken by an actual primordial. Not what you expected, but quite fascinating.
Definitely does want to be let out.
Free me! You hear it say in your mind as it rages and punches the wall.
You understand?
Release! What do you do, Lamor?
I don't even know if I can communicate it from how far.
You never know until you try.
I'll look over at Druman, give him a pass. If I look like I'm gonna pass out, just pull me back.
You got it. I would never let harm come to one of my employees.
I'll just raise an eyes I remember the time where he left me for dead, trying to distract him for saving him from that creature. Are you sure about this?
Were you my employee that time, or were you still an intern? I don't remember.
That actually earned you the rank of employee, that act of heroism, Leomor.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll be ungrateful.
You were still an apprentice before.
Oh boy. How do I...
It's in the room further. I'm waiting to see what you guys do, but so far you're staying in this room, so I'm not going to move you into the next room.
So are we going or not? Can you speak with the thing?
I understand it. It desperately wants to be let free.
Then tell it that we will try to set it.
Yes, but the problem is, while it can talk to me, I don't think it can understand me from this distance.
Then get closer.
I don't have any ways to withstand the heat.
We'll say that you step into the threshold. The heat is uncomfortably, almost painfully hot in this place where you're standing, but you're there. You hear it raging. The same words kind of filter in through the gibberish that's coming out. Home, freedom, release.
I'm gonna try to take a few steps forward to see if I can get close enough so you can hear me.
Okay, so you're gonna move into the room instead of staying at the threshold?
Actually, no, threshold probably stay there, and I'll in primordial, which I know it's gonna sound weird to everybody. I'm going to yell out, "Hold, friend!"
It stops. And what you think is its head shoots back at you. And it looks at you.
I'll give a small wave.
Again, the roaring continues in your general direction. Free me!
What's your name?
And it visibly deflates a little bit and shrinks in size. And it says one word. Gagaron.
Gagaron? Gagaron. I'll point to myself. Leomorn!
Leomorn. Free me.
I want to free you. Though at the time I do not have a way.
You said he's a elemental, correct?
A fire elemental, yes.
So I turn to Valeria and I say, could you perhaps create a whole lot of water and just splash it on him, and that will put his fire out and free him. He'll become smoke and dissipate into the atmosphere. Throw water on him.
Is that how elementals work?
Won't that kill that thing?
Oh,
Well, death is a kind of freedom.
You think death is better than free?
Well,
Being out of here?
better than well, he sounds absolutely miserable. I mean, it's just a hypothesis. I'm just willing to test a hypothesis here. Throw water on him, see what happens.
I would absolutely
seeing him deflate.
To be honest.
Seeing him deflate, did the heat die down?
The heat lowers as his rage sort of dissipates.
Okay, I'll take the.
He's taken more of a humanoid form, though he's still quite large.
Alright, I'll take the initiative and I'll take a few steps in so I can get closer to him.
Leomorn, whatever you're doing, it's working. Tell him we'll help him if he lets us pass.
Working on it!
And if talking works better than throwing water on him, go ahead and don't throw water on him.
I'm pretty damn sure if he tried to throw water on him at this point, it would piss him off even further.
Okay, I moved you guys to the map.
As I just get closer, Gangrun. I like that name.
Leomorn. Friend. Free me.
I want to free you. I do. Though me and my compatriots are looking for a way to free people. How long have you been in here?
Prisoner, no not. Kept here. and he scratches at the runes that sort of blaze as soon as his fire touches it.
Nice. So you got two from the same ones. I want to free you, I do. But right now we have no means at this moment. But we're looking.
And his body starts to grow again. And the heat emanating from it just begins to just starch you and dry you out.
I'll quickly hold a hand up, like, but you can help us! You can help us! Gagrud, you can help us! I can help you home, but you need to help me!
Free me! I will fight for you.
I want to find a way to free you, of course.
And it slams his hand. Do it or not!
What or who binds you here?
It looks at you, Zirak, uncomprehending of the words you just spoke.
Gangrun? These are my compatriot. They want to help. He wants to know who is binding you here.
Dead man.
I will step forward in front of Leomorn, and I will say, Gagaroon, you are free, as I hold up my hands and part them like parting the Red Sea.
Can I just, like, give him a light smack on the back of the head?
Well, I thought maybe knowing the true name of something would set it free. And since he gave us his name, I thought maybe an incantation. I do have a method to my madness. I'm not just spewing wild idiocracies.
Can we even understand the conversation transpiring?
You guys can't understand the conversation between
Oh, well then belay my last, because I forgot he was speaking in...
Primordial.
I was about to say Gagaroon was going to get very, very angry that this little man was sort of belittling him with hand gestures.
Does it look like he has a collar on him?
Free me! And then he scrapes his hands against the walls again as the runes glow orange and red.
Oh.
And I'll hold up and I'll point to the rune. If you let me get closer to examine that with my friends,
He
will you
throws
not harm
fire
us?
almost directly at you. And it flies over your shoulder and hits the wall behind you. And you see that all over the walls are inscribed these runes. As soon as the flames touch them, they sort of light up, as if trying to contain what's being held within.
Does that door look locked?
The door is indeed locked, but you look on this side and there are no locks. You look at the doors and you see that they are obsidian, very resistant to heat.
Can I take a closer look at one of the runes behind me? See if it says anything?
You look at the runes and it is inscribed, Draconic, and they are runes of binding. It seems this creature is being held here by these runes of binding, not allowing him to leave, but keeping him trapped in the confines within.
What's he saying?
You said a dead man binded you here.
Was it those marks that's shown when he threw the fire?
I'll switch back to common for the others. Well, he does say that a dead man has binded him here. Apparently these runes might be the source.
Dalian goes up to the where he saw the rune light up when the fire hit it, and is going to try and damage the rune to see if maybe that'll kind of flicker the binding.
Make an attack against the room. You swing down with your glaive, you connect, causing bright sparks, and you are forced backwards. 3 points of force damage as you're launched 10 feet backwards and you land prone on the ground.
So basically, you tried to destroy the one ring.
One room to ruin them all.
I stand up after being thrown back and say, is there a scratch on it? Did it damage it?
You look, and the wall that the rune was inscribed in, untouched. It's actually kind of weird that you're looking at bare stone with runes, and that this elemental has been hitting it, throwing fire at it for you don't know how long. There's no soot marks, there's no scratches, there's no gouges, there's no pock marks. No signs of melting on the stone floor, even as this elemental stands in place, and the flames of its lower portion of what you assume is its body just licks against the floor.
Sirak or Valeria, are you able to dispel this?
Give it a shot.
I'll take a step back and look back at Gangru back in Primordial. My friends are doing what they can to help.
Okay. Valeria, you begin your incantation to dispel magic. As you place your hand on the wall, you feel your gauntlet begin to heat up with the residual heat. As you finish the incantation prayer, almost a cracking glass shattering noise kind of breaks from within as the runes blaze and then dim. It darkens a little bit inside, the only real light now coming from Gagaroon. Leomorn, what her name?
Valeria.
And Valeria, you hear this. Valeria. And it nods. Like it bows its head.
Okay.
It begins to move closer. The heat is immense. What do you do?
I'm gonna take a step aside for him, and I'm going to point where, or I'm also going to point where Valeria pointed out to see if he's free by hitting that spot.
And you watch as he starts rearing back with his large flaming hands and begins to pound on the door. He is making a lot of noise, but you're watching as the door is beginning to crack and push open. And he just until they bust open, revealing a hallway that leads to another white gate.
I'll look over to Valeria. Did he say anything to you?
Who? The Gagaroon?
Yeah.
He said thank you?
He rushes out into the hallway and you watch as he's starting to punch this white gate that he can't move through.
Wait, I have the key.
That's putting up Primordial. Gagru, wait. Gagru, wait, we have...
Yet, you're getting the idea this thing has like the temperament of a child. Like it's...
I'll switch to Primordial. Gegru, wait. We dealt with this before. Valeria has the key, but don't go charging in like that. You could get yourself killed.
Oh.
I know you want to go home. But there's a lot we must go through first to get you home. This is the first step.
Valeria.
Right. Valeria. She has the key, though she can't seem to get to the gate.
Valeria, key.
In a very Lilu Dallas kind of way, turns to look at you, Valeria. Please.
I'll open the thing for you. Just tell him to step aside for me for a sec, please.
Right. You may want to step aside.
And then I put it out in front of the...
This gate in particular is weird as you walk up to it. You notice that this hallway breaks in two different sections, like a fork. You can see that just with the way the circle is going.
Oh.
But everything on the other side of each is obscured, and as you touch the glyph key to the circle, you watch as one side opens, leaving the other side closed, as if there's two panes of glass that have parted and are sort of partitioning off one hallway while opening the other.
Why is this one not going down as the others?
Okay.
Valeria, recollection of what Resimode said within the Halls of Breaking was that his specific key is attuned to rooms within the Demon Hold. You would need a master key to be able to access other holds, or gain glyph keys from other holds to grant access. So you're thinking right now you're at a crossroads, that this hallway that leads further up could possibly be another room that leads into one of the other large laboratory vaults within the Shadow Consortium. Zirak, you hear the sounds of footsteps and jingling behind you as the footsteps lightly pad on the stone, and you turn and you see Parasha. And she comes up to you and you see as she takes a necklace off from underneath the large, sort of gilded Baroque decorated necklace that almost kind of looks like I guess you could equate it to maybe an Aztec or Egyptian sort of gold necklace, like one of the very thick ones that sort of goes down along the chest with large plates of gold. And she pulls out a smaller necklace chain and another diamond glyph key and holds it out to you. Bring me back his head. Set me free.
I graciously accept the key, and I kiss her hand, and I say, "We will go post haste."
She grabs the back of your neck and just pulls you in.
I graciously return the favor.
She pulls away. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna get lightheaded here, guys. Watch.
Oh yeah, Derek has a streaming nosebleed anime style.
Your knees buckle, but she with strength, and she looks into your eyes, pleading. Take me from this place, hero. Save me. And she kind of lingers on your face a bit before she lets you go, turns around and heads towards her lavishly adorned pillowed room, where she closes the stone.
I turn around to Rudy and Elise and I say, "It's the hair. I can't help it. It's the hair."
Rudy is just giving you that scornful look. It's like,
Of course it's the hair. Are you sure it's not that big old brain of yours too, Zarak? Wink.
No, they're attracted to my hair. It's my hair.
Do I see real sudden chill down the back of my spine from that direction?
So it's the hair and not the brains, you say. Interesting.
You can't help
I'll
those
have to keep that in mind.
I can't help it. I'm a gentleman, and I save the ladies, and they thank me for it. What
If
can I
you guys
say?
want to start kissing people,
You are
wake up
the
in the morning and do
hero.
push-ups.
You are the heroine that does save the damsels in distress, eh?
I do my best. Even Valeria when she needs it, even though she hates me for it.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Pat,
if you guys want to start kissing on ladies, wake up in the morning and do some push-ups and sit-ups. Like, come on.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't
right.
forget to do some sit-ups.
Don't forget my morning workout routine. I get all swole. That's what the ladies like, the hair and the
Don't
swole.
forget, you must
That's
make
when like
your
Xerac
hair
licks the tip of his fingers and runs it across his eyebrows and like animal magnetism.
Idea for a one-shot Xerax horror mix-up.
And don't forget, you have to, spice up your hair so all the ladies notice it.
Mark, before I continue down the hall, I fumble around my cloak for my coin and I give it a flip.
Okay. Give me a second.
I'm gonna ruffle Xerac's hair, and it's like, sure, it's the hair. That's the trick. And as I do, I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation to make this big splotch on his hair that looks like his skin, so it looks like he has a bald spot.
I am not appreciative of this magic.
Xerac, perception.
A perception check, okay.
Mark, let me know when you're ready.
I got it. I rolled it. I know what you have.
Oh, I still need to call it though.
You caught.
Right?
Is that how it works? Shit. Okay, ready? Set.
Heads.
Okay. I made a note of it. Xerac, you clearly see out of the corner of your eye Rudy make a motion with her hand and then bring it back. And you kind of look over and you see her and she kind of sees you and she kind of takes her hand and begins like scratching at her face and looking up at the ceiling.
I raise one eyebrow at Rudy and say, "What mischief are you up to now, sword dancer?"
Oh, nothing. And she gives just like a little wave.
You can't help it, Xerac. You just have that effect on women.
Indeed, they like to mess with me.
We'll say until somebody tells them Xerac is rocking a bald spot on the back of his head.
Well, if I get too close to that fire
Don't
element,
ever tell him that. It'll break
on the
his
top of
heart.
my head.
Rudy, Xerac, give yourselves a point of inspiration.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you have made Xerac mirror myself in real life. Thank you for that, Rudy. I appreciate it.
Valeria, as the white gate sort of closes, like a good 3/4 of it, leaving the other hallway sort of obscured, you look down and you see the hallway continues for but a little bit. And there is another large set of double doors, although this one is back to the same large iron doors, similar to the ones that you came through that led you into Parasha's sort of Arabian Nights room, I guess we'll just call it for now. This one, unlike the obsidian ones you just walked through, you kind of glance around the corner, shining your light. You see that there are large handles on these doors and that there is a mechanism there next to the handle that would equate a lock.
This is quite a predicament, isn't it?
Hey, Chris. If you go
Yes.
down under the chat box, there's the pop-down window that says "As." You should see 2 Falks. Click on the one that you're not on, and it should change your picture to Falk on the picture bar.
Oh, I did not know that. Thank you.
There you go.
Well then,
And those of you that haven't seen Falk, this is what he looks like. Half-elven, lanky, pasty hair. He doesn't look as healthy as he does in this picture a little bit right now. He looks quite emaciated, and his sort of long robes are sort of worn, tattered, and yeah, he's taken a beating since he's been here.
Not bad.
if this is the only way that crystal opens, shall we proceed forward then?
Well, no other way. Oh boy.
And you said there was a lever on this door?
Yep. 2 large iron levers affixed to these 2 large iron double doors. The handles themselves, I mean, they're like pulling on like a factory lever. Like, they're huge. They sort of match and fix the door, like a foot long. Grabbing 2 hands and pulling down and it would open it. But as you grip the handle, it is locked. You do see a lock on this side. Give me a perception check. There are muffled sounds coming from the other side of the door, though you can't make out what they are.
I call for Droman to see if he can aid me.
Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, coming through. They need me in the front. Excuse me.
Oh, watch out for him.
Drummond, you walk up, and you see that there are doors here. Thalion tells you they're locked. He makes you aware of the muffled sound. You get closer and you can hear the muffled sound. Go ahead and give me a perception check. You press yourself closer, not trying to listen through the gap in the door, but actually pressing your ear against the large, sort of comical to you, archaic key lock in the hole there. I mean, it's stupid large. Like, why would anybody need a lock or key this big? And you press your ear against the hole, and through it, very clearly now you can hear the sounds of horrid screeching, this sort of these deeper guttural bellows, and these kind of like chittering, laughing and screeching of a high-pitched note that almost makes you want to wince and kind of take your ear back. But the sounds of these together is just, it's not fun.
Are we sure we want to go through this door? There seems to be a lot of things behind.
Do they sound like people?
No. More like ogres or something like.
I hope it didn't sound like the thing in that pit. We are still within his area, and did say he breaks demons. Valiant kind of turns to the back towards Valeria, who's holding that spot. Ask the others, did anyone take the crystal from oh no, Pashora, was it?
Okay, hold on. Does anybody have an extra key back there?
Loverboy does. Pointing at Zurak.
I was gifted a key by the beautiful Parasha just moments ago. But, it's a little breezy in here, isn't it? As I walk past the flaming guy.
It
I
seems
feel like a
you are
trap.
once again Zerak. Please step forward.
I step
As
forward.
he begins walking by, you guys notice that Zerak has a bald spot he hasn't had in a while. And it kind of looks like he's rocking a
Hence
balding
the
mullet.
chuckle as Elise just kind of looks over like,
I have the biggest grin on my face.
yeah, Elise is just gonna be like,
Is something funny?
No, we just thought of a joke. We just thought of a joke from
admiring your beautiful appearance right now, Zerak.
The jokes now become somewhat stifled.
Yeah, I think that I would.
You begin to sort of pinch your nose and close your mouth as you're realizing that the way Falk smells is not mixing well with the heat from Gagurun.
And stories why
Something is
Elise
definitely
choking.
fishy. My party is acting very strange, but I won't insight check them right now. I'll just let their joke go for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my key and do what Valeria did to the earlier lock.
Before you do that, I was going to suggest Valiant and Droman move out of this area in case it closes this side.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
You should probably let me go first. You should all get behind me.
Excuse me, pardon me, I need you in the back, excuse me.
I'll protect you.
Bless you so much.
I'll lean in towards Gagurun and I'll point at Zerak. That's Zerak. He can be a little
Perfect. Exceptional.
I'm saying
Fantastic.
primordial.
Fabulous, actually.
He could be a bit complicated.
That's a good one. I like complicated. So yeah, I will go ahead and utilize the key. Oh my god. Farting in a steaming shower is the worst thing in the world. I don't want to stand next to Falk any longer than I have to. I place this key and run.
So it's not a key.
Yeah, it's a necklace that she gave me, right?
Yeah, it's a diamond crystal. As you bring it, as Valeria is sort of holding on to this one, keeping this down, you bring this key towards the two. It sort of looks like two panes of glass that stretch from the floor to the ceiling that have taken on this very opaque white shimmering as you get closer to it. You sort of run your fingertips over it testingly, and you feel the tingle of magical energy emanating from it. You know that perhaps putting force against it would be a bad idea, would cause a reaction. So you take the diamond glyph key that was given to you and you press it against it, and it sort of hits it and rebounds. Like you're putting two magnets and they're opposing each other.
Perhaps this key does not fit this lock after all. What if I turn it around the other way?
You turn it around and it's the same thing. You try to touch the white mist from it, and it sort of just gets rebounded like you're pushing, like two magnets are opposing each other. Like they're very hard to touch.
Yep. Okay, so
Valeria, you take
I will back up and let Valeria try.
So you watch as Valeria takes her glyph key while you're standing there with yours and removes it. And you're standing there with the glyph key, and the white mist does not resume in your circle. You step back and you pull your glyph key, and the full white gate closes shut. You push your glyph key into it, and it opens again. But it does not reveal this one hallway. So you're thinking now that you have 2 of these diamond glyph keys that are attuned specifically for the demon hold. But now you have an extra. To you specifically, Zirak, this is mentally stimulating. As you look at this crystal, it seems to be like a quartz crystal and/or diamond that is completely clear like ice, like the purest ice. There is no inscriptions on it. There are no glyphs. There are no runes. It is just clear white crystal.
That's beautiful.
So in essence, yes, you have 2 of the same key.
Well, if we pass by... I should have wrote that name down. Was it Alaria? We now have an extra key.
Oh, the one from the first room?
Yes,
Yeah, I think it was Illyria.
She didn't have a key, did she?
No, she was asking for one.
She was asking for one. You remember that Sin said that any keys that you may come across, that you find from within, she would like one as well. As she was only able to get you guys in with a sort of forced counterfeit that you can tell did not hold up to the eye test once you have the real thing in your hand. There were secrets about these keys, or about these glyph keys, that she has not yet deduced, which is why she wanted a real one. She was unable to grab one the one time she came in.
So that's when we'll need that. Sounds like we may have to press forward through that door or backtrack.
I say that the door is a better option than backtracking. You mean this door down here?
Yes, Drummond said he heard what could have been ogres, or it could possibly be more demons.
They are more. I fight for Valeria.
Looks like you've made a friend, Valeria. Not that I can. Never mind. I don't say that because
You can't understand it. I'll give Gangrene a nod. Just we all do. We all fight together.
Zirak's just here to kiss hands and shake babies, you know?
Kiss faces.
Yeah,
Give me a baby to shake, Mark. I'll do it.
kiss, not shake. Kiss.
He said
No.
baby.
You're here to kiss pretty women faces and shake babies.
That was my favorite quote.
I will open. See if the door is open. And
The door is
I
locked.
will
The door is locked.
Oh, it's locked. Drummond, we need a key.
Excuse me.
You know more
Pardon me.
You are the key.
They need me up front. Excuse me.
I'll probably speak in Primordial with Gangrene that we fight as one and that we're all friends.
I'm gonna pop my knuckles and
We are the fates united. Together we are strong. Divided we are not. That's our motto.
The what now?
It's a long story.
The FU.
The door clicks. The lock easily passable. What do you do, Drummond?
I'll ask if he would like to take the lead again. Your door is open.
You may want to take a peek.
I think once we open this door, we're gonna be in for some trouble. I would say everyone ready yourselves.
In primordial Leomorn, you understand it fully. Valeria and everybody around it can only hear Valeria. But Leomorn, you hear the words that follow, and it says, "Get behind."
I'll quickly relay it. Everyone, behind Gangrun. And I'll probably call back. Are you ready, friend?
As soon as everybody moves, the elemental just surges forward and grows inside, and you watch as he turns shoulder first and just slams through the fucking door. The doors swing open, and you guys are greeted with the loud screeches and roars of unnatural throats and mouths. Skaguran bursts through, and there are yells of alarm and gasps from raspy voices. You look inside, and this area might once have been a great banquet hall. The furnishings now lying rotten everywhere as large pillars have been bound with chains and glowing on the inside what seem to be magical runes embedded into the ground. Within these magical runes, behind somewhat opaque yellow light, are the roaring visages of demons, trying to break their way through as startled wights turn and point, sending forth their zombie helpers. And that's where we're going to leave off tonight.
Dun dun dun.
I swear, the mullet thing is just not gonna go for much longer. The first time and Zarak decides to look in his mirror and do his grooming, he's gonna be like, WTF. Yeah. And Rudy, your breath is gonna smell like skunk for a month.
Great, man. It's gonna be great because you're
There's
just
gonna
hear
be
the
so
party
much
kind
fish
of
sauce in
snicker.
your food. Everything's gonna taste like fish for like a year.
I just feel sorry for
all
Zarak.
eternity.
He's going to have that bald spot for an hour. So
I am. Yeah.
You won't
I'm
even
gonna-
know that it's there.
I can't wait till I can go flirt with another girl again and flip my hair graciously with the bald spot there. That'd be awesome.
And just watch and be like, oh.
Oh my god, Valeria.
Valeria, that's 5 bonus XP.
Dang it. Wow, that was a good one. That's a good burn. I'm gonna need some cream for that one, I think.
Let me know if you guys want me to post some of the info. I will post that info, especially the notes of what you were told about some of the other inner rooms, the rumors that the people within have heard, and stuff like that. And I can just make a post and put them in the Facebook group messenger, and that way you guys can have them if you weren't able to get them down right away.
Mark, one thing that would be helpful, you've done it before, but for me anyway, if you do like a rundown of the NPCs that we met tonight, and maybe a little blurb about what we know about them based on what we encountered, that could be helpful as a refresher before we start next week. Because you threw a half a dozen of NPCs at us in the last couple sessions.
I know, right? It's very discombobulated.
Yeah, it's great. I love it because it makes the world come alive. But I fear that sometimes between sessions I lose track a little bit of who we met and what they said.
I am working on it.
Sometimes.
Even one or two sentences is fine.
I'm updating the previous people you have met Word document that I sent you guys. And that's going to have, right now it has everybody in the Barrowlands. And then I'll just update it now with everybody that you've met, encountered, and then I'll send it and post it to you guys on the page. And then that way you got it.
Yeah, that's great because I actually did that last one you made and sent out. That helped a great deal. That centered me in the world a little bit better. That's what inspired me to actually put a birthday for Zerak on your calendar. Actually, I wanted to get a little more detailed, like you're doing. So, yes, guys, Zerak has a birthday, and I'll be sure to tell you when it is because I want a gift.
Where's my fucking present?
Right? Where's my present? He's gonna turn 20 years old very soon.
That is a good idea. I'm gonna do that too.
You're
Mark has the whole calendar for the whole year. If you put that, copy and paste that link into that calendar builder, and so it's really easy to kind of get a range of how long we've been. That's why I asked him all those questions about how long we've been traveling, because it's getting close to when I think we've been gone almost a year. So
yeah, you guys set off. So just to keep in mind about how much time has actually passed in game, you guys set off to Helenon on your own routes during Isius the Thaw, which is the early month of spring. And now you guys find yourselves in the mountains near the end of Zostos, the harvesting month. Like it's well into fall, almost winter. You guys have been in the world almost a year. So which is kind of fun. It's a lot of miles traveled and walked, so kind of gives you an idea of just the couple places you've been, kind of how long it's taken you to get there, and kind of go from there. But thank you guys. I really enjoyed the role play in this one. I liked everybody that took the initiative during the demon fight and kind of helped out. And yeah, keep your eyes, like, if I can say anything, it would be to keep your eyes open. There's a lot of fun stuff in here, so.
I'm looking forward to more roleplay with Zerak about our school life.
Shut your mouth, apprentice.
that's right. Go get me a beaker.
That's
Go get
just
me a
gonna be
beaker.
hilarious.
Light a fire. Make me some tea.
If there isn't a slap fight at the end of this, I'm gonna be disappointed.
Chris, we don't have a
Are
game
you sure
on
it's gonna
Friday
be just a slap
for Tomb, right?
We do not have a game this Friday, no. On my calendar, we have a game next Friday. On the 4th.
I can do that. I'm not available this Friday. I think I said that the last time we talked. I have to go to a pep band football thing this Friday for Dylan. But I am free the 4th. And then I have a game on Saturday at 8 o'clock. Where I'm sure Mark will find a way to eat more children.
I mean, if you put him there, he's gonna eat 'em.
If I put him there, yep, that's what's gonna happen.
That sounds
All right.
appealing.
Well,
Who's a terrible person.
I'm gonna get off because I got to get up at 5. So good night, everybody.
Fuck yeah,
Thank you, everybody. I will see everybody next Tuesday, and yeah, I can't wait. It should be fun.
Alright,
Oh, yeah.
Later. Ta-ta. Bye.
Later.